Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. My name's Ajani Griffith and I am a musician, multimedia producer, and director. So today I just want to talk to you on the vlog about my experience about working in the entertainment, music, and film industries. To be honest with you, it is no joke. It is no joke. I'm sure many of you have had or heard stories of what it's like working in the entertainment industry. It's not for everybody. It is hard. You get thrown around a lot. So if there's anybody who is watching this and who is interested in working in the music industry, I just want to tell you, make sure you are ready and you are prepared. I've come across so many interesting people, so many interesting faces. I've been around multi-millionaires, and I've been around people who are struggling just to get to the next level. And one thing I must say, at any level, there are good people and there are bad people. And that's just the utmost truth. You know, a lot of times, especially when we're talking about film production, video production, a lot of times what happens is we might not get paid. Imagine that. And a lot of times we don't get paid. Because what happens a lot in the film industry, and I don't know how this has come about, but we would get paid on net billing. So what that means is, say, a film production company would hire you and say, hey, we'll pay you in 30 days. You just send us an invoice billing, and then we'll pay you in 30 days. And that is a method that happens in business a lot, especially in manufacturing and logistics and shipping. But also it happens in film and in video production. The only problem with that, in my personal opinion, is most of the people working on video sets and in film are just regular people. So it presents a huge problem when you have to pay bills, right? So you have to depend on a streamline of projects so you can buffer those payments just in case something goes wrong. And unfortunately, things do go wrong all the time. We'll go into a project, the label will spend half a million on producing, pre-production, whole 9 yards, and then the production company will hire us on net 30, and then the project gets done, they edit, they do all the marketing, and net 30 turns into net 60, net 60 turns into net 90, and then it goes on and on. And then sometimes we don't even get paid. And we're not talking about small companies who might have budgeting issues. They have the money. We're talking about billion-dollar corporations, million-dollar corporations. And it's even worse in certain places like Miami, where there's a lot of scammers. But unfortunately, you see a lot of the big productions. This is what happens. This is something that goes on a lot. And It's just the cold hard truth. Now, I've been on both sides. I've been on productions where we go to work and then pay you the next day or within a reasonable time. So within a day or two or three, or within that week. On the other hand, I've been on productions where they take 2 months to pay you, or they don't pay you at all. So the reason why I'm speaking about this is for anybody who's interested in music, for anybody who wants to get into it, for anybody who wants to get into production. I just want to share the reality and the truth about it. I've worked independently with people who have the money, and it's like a tug to get them to pay you, to get your respect from them. You know, I've worked with people where they're going to make lots of money on the projects they work with. I've worked with people who have their Instagrams and TikToks and social media, and who's always around the biggest stars. They have their names thrown around in the media, on podcasts and whatnot. But it is a hard thing to even get them to pay you, or even get them to pay you a reasonable rate. There is so much that goes on behind the scenes that I want you to be aware. This is coming from somebody who has worked within the belly of the beast. So you have to have tough skin. A lot of the things you hear about the entertainment and music industries are real. People change once they get a certain height in their careers, a certain success. And then there are other people who keep it humble and say, hey, I remember when I was in your shoes, and I'm going to show up no matter what. So my biggest advice to anybody out there, especially those of you who want to break into this industry, is to understand that find the people who are going to support you, who are going to be kind, no matter what, whether they're on the way up or no matter how successful they are. You might get the opportunity to work with some of your idols, and you realize they're not the type of person you want to be around or you want to work with. I've been in shoes where I looked to people for mentorship and guidance, and they treated me in a terrible way. But yet again, I've met people who have similar experience, and they're willing to help and guide path my way into success. So for anybody who's watching this, my biggest advice is, yes, you may make the mistakes. You will come across people, especially if the higher you go and as you learn, you're going to come across a lot of kosher, a lot of people who will do harm or will want to do harm to you or take advantage of you. They'll use your talent and say, hey, I'll reward you, or we'll split the rewards or the success that we make from this. And when time comes, they don't, and they walk away. But I want you to focus on the positive. There are people who can help you. Again, this is not an easy gig to work in the music industry, so you have to have tough skin. But if you want, and if you're going to put yourself out there, I just want you to know that you can do it. And that's my tip top tips for today. Thank you. See you later.